Hi everybody, welcome to today's video for section 5-6 in our math books on pages 283 to 288. It deals with partial quotients. Like we talked about today in class, we know that the quotient is the answer to a division problem. We know from our multiplication in chapter 4, the word partial means part. So what we're going to do is take part of our problem and break it down into smaller quotients. Then, we're going to add those partial quotients to get our final quotient. If it sounds confusing, it's really not. Remember, the easiest way to do this is to count by tens. Keep that in mind as we move forward here. You'll see I have the same problem written twice. 74 divided by 2. Remember, 74 is my dividend. That's my total number. 2 is my divisor. That's going to be the number of groups that I am breaking my 74 items into. What I'm trying to find out with my quotient is how many items will go in each one of those groups. This looks like a pretty intimidating problem, but we're going to break it down into smaller steps to make it a lot easier to work with. Knowing our place value, we know that this 4 is in the ones place, and it really does mean 4. I know that my 7 here does not mean 7 because it's in the tens place. It actually means 70. So we can do this one of two ways, which is why I have two problems up here. First, I'm going to do what I find to be the easier way, just count by tens. I'm going to put a 10 up here. 10 times 2 equals 20. I'm going to put my answer of 20 down here, and I'm going to take the difference between 74 and 20. When I do that, I'm left with 54. Way too big of a number. I'm certainly not finished. Well, let me see if I can do another 10. I put my second 10 above the first one. 10 times 2, again, is 20. Okay, easy enough. I'm going to take my difference between my 54 and my 20, and I'm going to be left with 34. Still, way too much left here. I know I have more work to do. Well, 10 seems to work, so let me keep going with 10. 10 times 2 again is 20. And when I take my difference, I'm left with 14. Well, I know that I've been counting by tens, and every time I've done it and multiplied it by 2, I've gotten 20. 20 is going to be too much here. Now I can go back to my basic facts. Think in your head, counting by 2s, how many times can I count by 2s until I get to the number 14? When you do that, you can count 7 times. 7 times 2 is going to get you that final answer of 14. Take the difference between your numbers, and you're left with a remainder of 0. You're 98% of the way finished. Just like we did with multiplication, adding our partial products, we have to add all of our partial quotients here to get our final quotient. And when you do that, 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 7 is going to get you a final quotient of 37. In my opinion, I like to use the tens. I know some of you are much more ambitious. You want to go right for the end. So, we can do that. Counting by 2s, how many times do you think we could count by 2 to get close to 70? In class today, we talked about this, and a lot of you came up with, well, I'm going to do 30 right away. Works for me. I'll put a 30. Knowing your basic multiplication facts, 3 times 2 is 6, and you drop your 0. So 30 times 2 equals 60. Perfect. Take the difference between 74 and 60, and I'm left with 14. Now, again, you can use your basic facts. 2 times what number is going to get me close to or right on 14? Knowing your facts, again, it's 7. 7 times 2 is 14, and you're left with no remainder. Again, you might want to try counting by 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s if you're feeling ambitious and you want to try and take a bigger chunk. Or you could just start with the 10s and continue on with the 10s as a foolproof way to do it. I hope this helps a little bit with showing you how to break down a division problem into smaller steps to get the final quotient of 37. Thanks for watching.